All right, ladies and gentlemen, x and y intercepts, basically that's what they are. They're the x and y intercepts, intersections. So let's talk about that. Y-intercept is where the y-coordinate, or is the y-coordinate of the point where the graph crosses the y-axis. So where does this graph cross the y-axis? Right here. So we're looking for the point in which it crosses that. So what's the y-coordinate of that point? Well, and that's what we want to find out. That would give us the y-intercept. So like if this point was y equals 2, then my y-intercept would be equal to 2. That's it. That's all we're trying to find out. So let's change this and say, what if we want to know what the x-intercept is? Well, the x-intercept is the x-coordinate, not the y-coordinate, but the x-coordinate of the point where the graph crosses the x-axis. So in here, we're talking about right there. So the x-intercept would be -2. Because it crosses the x-intercept, x-axis at -2. And that's all there is to it. Now, it's a little bit different when you're given an equation. So when you're given an equation, this is what we're going to do. And I'm going to try to make the connection with you. Let's find the x-intercept first. All right. Now let's think about the x-intercept. When it crosses the x-axis, what's the ordered pair for that coordinate? Well, we know our x is -2, but what's our y value? It's 0. So when we have an x-intercept, the y is 0 in our equation. So over here, when we have our equation, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have 2x plus 3, and the y is 0 equals 12. Because our point for crossing the x-intercept would be 0 for y. So let's solve this out. 2x and 3 times 0 is 0, so that goes away. So you have equals 12. Now let's solve for x. We divide both sides by 2. And you get that our x-intercept is 6. And that's how you find it when you have an equation. So let's do this over again. But for y, let's try to find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is opposite of the x-intercept. So let's go back over here. The y-intercept, the point for it would be 0, comma 2, where x is 0. So when we're trying to find the y-intercept, x is 0. So 2 times 0 plus 3y equals 12. This goes away, and you get 3y equals 12. Divide both sides by 3, and you get y equals 4. So my y-intercept is 4. And that's all there is to it. So let's do another one. We want to find our y-intercept first. So y-int. I'll put x-int down here because we're going to find that next. So y-intercept. What is 0 when you're trying to find the y-intercept? X is 0. So here we have y minus 2 times, or is equal to 3 times 0. So y minus 2, and 3 times 0 is 0. So you keep solving, add 2 to both sides, and you get y is equal to 2. So my y-intercept for this equation is 2, or 0, comma 2. Now let's do the x-intercept. The x-intercept would be when y is 0. So instead of y, I'm going to put a big 0. 0 minus 2 is negative 2 equals 3x. Divide both sides by 3, and we get an x-intercept of negative 2/3. So this graph crosses at negative 2/3, comma 0. Now, if you have any questions about this, you need to write it down in your journal so we can talk about it in class tomorrow, because this is pretty easy. Don't make it too hard. In fact, talk about making it too hard. This is a hard problem. Let's do it. All right, y-intercept first. So to do y-intercept, x is 0. So that means this goes away. So we have 3y minus 10 equals 0. We're going to solve for y by adding 10 to both sides. So you get 3y is equal to 10. And then you divide by 3. And our y-intercept is 10/3. Or 3 1/3. Now my x-intercept is when y is 0. So if y is 0, that means this goes away. So we have 1/3 x minus 10 equals 0. Solve it. Add 10 to both sides. We get 1/3 x equals 10. How do you get rid of 1/3? On the x, you multiply by its reciprocal, so 3. So we get x is equal to 30. So here, my y-intercept is 10/3, or 3 1/3, and my x-intercept is 30. And that's all we're going to be talking about. So that's it, folks. We'll have more practice in class tomorrow.